Hi everybody, this is Esteban Pastor, and we're here at IOC West in our ZKTeco USA booth. So I'm here with Rita Munir.
Hi.
She is the COO and co-founder of Allthenticate. So Rita, why don't you tell us a little bit about Allthenticate?
Sure. Hi everyone and good morning. Day 2 of IOC West 2024. Thank you Esteban and ZKTeco for having me and for organizing this amazing stage here. A little bit about Allthenticate. We are a cybersecurity and access control company. So we do authentication, as the name sounds. Authenticate yourself to both your physical devices and digital devices. So we let you unlock your bills, computers, websites, servers without keys, badges, or passwords.
Awesome. That's amazing. So when you're talking about merging physical and logical access control using biometrics, right, and enhancing that overall security, do you think that's good or bad?
I hope it's a good thing because it's been a common topic in security conferences that people are talking about merging physical and logical security. I do think that this convergence is happening, and I know other players are playing on it. I see it happen. The reason why I think it's good is because it's for the end users. They have less things to carry, less things to remember, less passwords to worry about. It is an identity problem at the end of the day. When I look at you, I recognize you. You are Esteban, and I'm able to confidently say that you are you because I see your face, I see your biometrics, right? I'm not here, double checking your ID, but I can confidently say this is you, unless you have an identical twin that talks and knows everything you do. But in the physical space, when we're trying to authenticate people, we've been given, cards and badges. That's not enough. We got to step it up. So biometrics are now a big piece of it. And if we give the users less things to worry about, so less badges, less passwords, less, things they need to plug into their computers to, authenticate themselves, and just have them show up to work as themselves, and that should be enough to identify them. I think that's a win for the end users. And then there's the management side of it, where the IT departments and the facilities departments have historically been separated, never communicating with each other, which just creates more points of failures for hackers to get through and problems to happen. So if we unify everything, it is a win for everyone, because now they have this one centralized platform still using decentralized identity. So it's a win for everyone, and hopefully that's where the industry moves forward.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. I agree with you. And you mentioned the convergence. So what do you see driving this convergence more? The security directors, the C-suite of the end users? Who's really calling and asking for this kind of demand now?
That's a great question. I think it's the C-suite that's probably more aware and more incentivized to do that, because obviously now they're spending less on multiple products if they can unify it. The IT directors and IT professionals are probably less seeing it because they just haven't thought about it. It's just not a thing yet. So it's like you need to see it to start thinking about it, to believe it, So now there are more players in the industry doing it, so hopefully it becomes just the right move and the right answer. But I do see both departments excited about it, both facilities and IT departments excited. It is something that excites people. People want to get there, and it's slowly happening.
Great, that's great. So it's slowly happening. The security directors, they listen to the C-suite. Right now, what are the integration challenges, right? So now you have to integrate this with your existing either physical access control and your logical security system. And now you're introducing biometrics when some people have a certain already predisposed definition or what they already believe about biometrics, what it's good or bad. So what are the challenges you see with that?
That's a really good question, Esteban. I think some of the challenges are going to be hardware, right? Hardware is what we deal with for physical security. So telling them that now they're going to be using biometric, automatically they think about, oh, you're asking me to invest in hardware, additional hardware for now, like biometric identification. So solutions that let you use what you already have. So let's say what we do at Allthenticate is you have a phone, let's use the native biometric reader that's on your phone. That's great. And then there are like other solutions. Let's say they want to use Palm, for example, which I know ZKTeco is leading the way with Palm readers. So maybe they will need to, that's not something that the phones support yet. Maybe that's going to change in the future, who knows. So recycling as much as possible would help us get there, because obviously people don't want to spend more money in additional hardware. Integrations with existing solutions, and that means standards. We're going to talk about that, obviously. As long as this industry is agreeing on the standards that we're all deploying and making sure we can, have interoperable systems, that's a win for everyone, and the end user will benefit from it, obviously.
So how do you think partnerships between technology providers, security experts, and regulatory bodies can enhance the effectiveness of accepting this type of authentication and new change in systems?
Yeah, I think it's going to be an industry challenge, and we all need to agree to work with each other to get there. It should be less about our product should be the solution for everything, because that's just impossible. You can't, just one customer might have different use cases that are not going to be all satisfied by one single product. So being open to saying, hey, I'm going to do 40% of your authentication needs, and then for the other 60%, I'm going to bring in these two companies. They're each going to do 30%, because I know you have this 30% of your workers cannot have firms on site, so I'll get them maybe palm readers, right? And then I know the other 30% is wearing gloves, so now they can't take their gloves off. Let's use something else, like face recognition. I don't know. So being open to saying, hey, we want to serve your problem, we want to help the end user, no matter what it takes, even if it means we're going to go out and work with partners that we have never heard of before. Just being open to doing that is going to help everyone come together.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree, and we share the same stance here at ZK. We're open to everybody. We want to work with everybody. We go with
think that about you guys.
Hey, we're not out here to kill any competition or create any tip wars or anything like that. We just want to work and give customers great solutions, and thanks to you guys, we have had a chance to do that in your world too. So we're talking about the different types of biometrics. So where do you see the future of biometrics in types of different modalities and technologies, and how they're going to impact the physical and logical security in the future?
That's a good point. I think the right biometric is going to be whatever the user wants to use. That's my short answer.
Right. Yeah, 100%. A lot of it also educating the user as to what biometrics are available, right?
Yes, and there's going to be a lot of education that needs to be done from our side, right? And this is the challenge that we're all accepted to do. So there's a lot of education that will happen, especially, and I'm going to talk about the passwordless word a little more, because telling people that there are not going to be passwords anymore, like that breaks their brain, and they go like, wait, what are you saying? How is that secure? It is a lot more secure than passwords, yet people don't think about that first. A lot of education that needs to go out. So same challenges with biometrics. You tell people they're going to use their biometrics to get into work, they freak out. They think their employers is now going to track them and know everything about them and their DNA. Well, that's not true. We all know that.
I agree. I think there's a big educational learning curve when it comes to biometric authentication versus biometric recognition, right? So all we're doing is authenticating that you are who you say you are, and that you have access to the store. we're not worried about your PII or anything like that. We don't care where your cover disease last. We're not asking for any of that. Like you say, we don't need your DNA samples or anything like that. We just need to know, are you supposed to be in this room or not?
Exactly, and maybe like a lot of it is going to be on the marketing side. Our marketing folks are going to be important for this because they're the ones that will be pushing blog posts to users and explaining to them how does it work when you unlock your doors with your eyes or with your palm. What is your data set? Do we store it? Do we keep it? All these things. It is important to be fully transparent with our end users so that they can help us back and adopt the products, because these are new technologies. Everyone will refuse a new product. That's just how we are as humans. We get comfortable and resist to change. So we're doing something hard right here. So we should be ready for it.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle, but it's going to be a fun one, and I think it's one that will eventually win. And everybody adopt it. I mean, everybody's using it to get on their phones now, as we mentioned before. So it's just only a matter of time. But speaking of time, we are running low on time, so I want to thank you again, Rita. If you want to check out more information, you can follow Rita on LinkedIn. Also, check them out, Allthenticate. And thank you for being here, Rita.
Thank you, Esteban, and thank you, ZKTeco, for having me.